I think we're back. Does it look like we're back?
Baby.
We're back and better than ever.
Right. Mike and Mike reference there.
That's right. Good catch. Always something. But all right, so we're going to skip over Power Rank Monday. We're going to get back to it after our interview, but we're going to go live here with the one and only Ben Curtis, Ohio's own. Talk some Masters and his golf career in the PGA with that 2003 Open Championship. Shall we bring him in?
The most important part of his career, of course, is time spent down here in Columbus in the brutal circuit that is Columbus golf, high school golf.
I guess we'll talk about that too.
Absolutely.
All right, let's bring him in. We will be back in 31 seconds. On the line, this week's interview, Ohio golfing legend, Ohio championship winner, Ryder Cup, and former Open champion 2003, Ben Curtis. Ben, welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, guys. Glad to be here, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we listed off a few of your accomplishments right there. This is a Cleveland sports show up here. We got some Columbus fans, obviously. But for those who might not be familiar, with your work, give us a quick breakdown, kind of how you got started here in Ohio.
Well, I grew up in Central Ohio in a small town of Ostrander, so we probably got more listeners than the town I grew up in. A little less than 1,000 people, very small country farm town. But my grandfather built a golf course. So that's how I got into the game of golf, a little public golf course. And then I went to school down the road in Cleveland here at Kent State University. And that's where I met my wife. And
Heck yeah.
I've been here ever since. So that's kind of how so I'm born and bred in Ohio. So I've been I was a huge Buckeye fan growing up, and obviously the Browns and the Cavs and the Indians and all that. So I actually grew up a Reds fan, to believe it or not. So in the late 80s, early 90s, when I was getting ready to get into high school, and that the big red machine was coming along, but now I'm actually an Indians fan. So here we go.
God bless you.
So,
what a time to join that bandwagon too after today's performance.
Oh man.
Better Kent State bar, Water Street Tavern, or Ray's?
Oh boy. They're both great, but I would have to say I know Mike very well, Mike Beater, but Ray's is just very iconic, and I think it all depends on which day. We always seem to we went there on Wednesdays to Water Street, and then Thursdays was Ray's, and then the weekend was kind of it was a toss up. But.
Now, when you were going over your accomplishments, you kind of glossed over a period, and I'm not talking about of great accomplishments like the British Open. You glossed over your high school years. Now, you and I crossed paths a little bit in high school. You didn't know this, but I certainly did know this because I went to Granville High School. We're in Division III.
Okay.
You were at Buckeye Valley. You were kicking all kinds of butt. Everybody knew when Ben Curtis was in a tournament because we were all playing for second at that time. But what we played in a couple of tournaments, and one of my favorite stories about you is when you went on to win the British Open. I was actually at a horse track down in Cincinnati, and that was that Sunday. And as you made that march, and it was very apparent you were going to win, I was telling everybody around me, I'm like, I played with Ben Curtis back in high school, and I beat him. I tell you, I beat him. I know I beat him at least one tournament. So after that, I went home and I went through all of the newspaper clippings I had from back in the day to see if I had actually beaten you in a tournament. And unfortunately, Ben, I never beat you at a tournament, even though I told everybody that I did.
Oh, that's great. That's a funny story. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't mean to go quickly over the high school, but in
the cradle of high school golf.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah. Obviously, it was a special time in my life, and I learned a lot from Coach Joseph, just not only about golf, but about life in general and school. And he helped me with the transition from high school to college. So it was a very special time, no doubt. And I obviously had a successful high school career, won the state championship twice, and finished second, I believe, my freshman year. And actually, believe it or not, I didn't make it my sophomore year to states, and we had districts at Mill Creek, the course my grandfather built when I grew up. I shot a big number, I think 77, and missed out by a couple of shots. So, and again, that's where Coach Joseph was great, and kind of, hey, use that fuel to build momentum for the next year, kind of like what the Ohio State did with Clemson, right? That loss they used it all year to their advantage. And then they had the letdown when they played Alabama was a better team, but they had that letdown when they faced them. It was almost like their national championship was beating Clemson, right? And but just to learn to use that energy, take something away from something negative, and that was a big part of obviously my growth coming up into college and then on to professional.
Now, what was that like, kind of that jump? Because I couldn't make the jump from high school golf to college. There's that jump up, and then obviously there's a huge jump again to go to the PGA. Talk about each of those two steps and what you found, and maybe some of the learnings you had going from high school to college and then college to pro, and really trusting yourself to be a professional at that point and making money out there on tour.
Well, it's funny as my transition from high school to college, I had a great freshman year. Kind of a little bit of a letdown my sophomore year, in my own opinion. Same thing when I transitioned to pro. I kind of started off well my first year on tour, and then had a couple of years where it was a downturn, but eventually got it back again. But yeah, like you say, you gotta in high school you might be the best player in your district or state, but then when you get to college, you might be the best player in your team. But when you go to these tournaments, you're just the normal one of these guys, right? Everybody's seen it, they've heard it, oh, look at this kid coming out. We play against Charles Howell, Jonathan Bird, Lucas Glover, Matt Kuchar. I mean, you're facing these guys week in and week out. Next thing you know, instead of winning tournaments like you're used to in high school, now you're finishing 10th or 15th. So it's a little bit of a learning curve, but understanding that everybody's good. And then same thing when you get the pro. And then so I played the mini tours for a couple of years as a tour called the Hooters Tour. And, but it was we traveled around mostly the southeast portion of the country, but it was just like a tour event. It was 4 days, you had a cut, and then you would go from one tournament to the next. Mostly you got in your car and you drove 6-8 hours to the next event. But once you got, everybody could play. And then obviously same thing on tour, but each step, it's a little bit different. You gotta learn your way through it, learn the ropes. And, it took me obviously a while to get comfortable. Even playing the PGA Tour, it took a couple years to really get comfortable with everything that entails playing in a tournament. And you got the Masters coming up this week, and 04 was my first one, and it's not a learning curve. Same thing. I went in the Open my rookie year. I hadn't played in a major. I go in and win, but I was
How
playing
does that
well.
happen? You said there's a learning curve, but you go in and you win the Open. That doesn't happen. There's so many guys who've won on tour, who have been very successful, who still don't have majors, and you go in and you win the Open. How does that happen?
It's hard to explain. I think I missed I think 7 of my first 9 cuts or something on tour, and then by the time I got there, I made 4 cuts in a row. And each week was a little bit better than the previous week. And I think my confidence was high. And I went in with the attitude of, let's just have fun. We may never be here again kind of thing. It was just like, I remember we got there a couple days early and played the practice. And then on Monday, Candace and I were engaged. And we actually went into London to see all the sites. We took the train in, we on the double decker bus, and we went through on the taxi. We saw Big Ben, we saw Parliament, we saw, kind of just had a day in London. And, I was obviously the only guy there out of the 156 doing that, but, but it's just,
Great.
but I obviously saw the course before and then went back Tuesday and Wednesday and saw the course again. But I was just very relaxed. And, when you play good, you do that, right? I remember 84 Lumber, same thing. Yeah. I showed up on Wednesday, ended up winning the tournament. It's just, I was just very relaxed. Candace was 9 months pregnant. This was in 06. And I was just like waiting by the phone, just waiting for a text or a call. I say, don't call or text unless you're in labor, right? Unless I call you. It was kind of like, because I was just always looking at my phone and seeing if she called or text. And so, yeah, it's hard to explain. I mean, you can't, it's, it's just, look at Jordan Spieth. Where'd he go for 4 years, and all of a sudden now he's back last couple months, but you saw how it was a slow progression, right? Each week he played better and better and had more chances, and eventually you pull it off.
Now you say you play better when you're more relaxed. And I think every golfer, you kind of know that like innately. Is there anything you do to try and put yourself into that situation? Is there any mental tricks or anybody for the weekend golfer out there who may not be able to practice all the time or anything? Is there something they could do to kind of activate that so they have that laid back way of approaching the game?
Chris, I think the weekend golfer is probably beer.
Well, beer, yeah, that obviously.
And there's a fine line, right? It's like 2 is not enough, but like 6 is too many. So it's like, where do you go?
I peak at 5, and then after that, I'm done.
You're done, yeah. It's a great question, and it's one of those that you do it and you're like, I want to replicate that. Right. And then you try it the next couple of weeks and you might have some success and then it wears off. Right. So it's like, what's really difficult about the tour is that, you make about 85-90% of your money in a 6 to 8 week window. Yeah. And for the year. And so you got to take advantage of those times you're really hot. And so, like in 2012, I had a stretch where I won Valero, finished 13th the next week, 5th the following week, and then 2nd at the Players. And I basically made nothing the rest of the year. But I did, but and relative to what those 4 weeks were, I think it was like almost $3.5 million in 4 weeks, right? And then. And then
good month, right?
You make $5 million for the year, and you're right. You think you make $5 for the rest of the, or $1 million for the rest of the year, and you think you had a horrible year, right? Or stretches, but it's just so top heavy out there too. So, and it's just 1 or 2 shots that can turn things around, or 1 or 2 swing thoughts, or swing mechanical change, or a putting change that can just catapult you to that. And it's all confidence, right? Jordan Spieth, is his game perfect? No, but he's just really confident right now, and that's probably the biggest difference.
So circling back to 2003, the Open when you won it, you're a 300-1 underdog to win this thing. Did you have any buddies back in Ohio betting on you for this game? Did you have any buddies win a bunch of money?
I did not, but I've heard I've heard great stories of people like, yeah, I just threw a number out of a hat and your name came up and I put $50 on you. And, but especially in the UK they bet a lot more than we do, especially on golf, and that thing. So, I don't know of anybody personally that I knew beforehand, but I've heard stories going back over there. And there's this one kid came up to me and he's like, yeah, I took a picture with you on Wednesday and my dad put $50 on you and won whatever. And but that's pretty cool to hear and see. Like I just found out earlier this year that Brooks Koepka and his brother were actually there walking around. Now, They weren't following me personally. They were following Tiger, of course, but they were there during one of the practice round days, walking around, and I thought that was pretty funny. So, because the caddy, Ricky Elliott, who I won the Valero Open with 2012, and we're good buddies. He played at Toledo when I was at Kent. He now works for Brooks Koepka, or he has been since, we parted ways. And so he was telling me that story. So it's kind of funny.
That is funny.
Obviously, you didn't have any problems with it over there, but what's it like for you playing a links style course like you have in the British Open? For those of you listening who don't know, but British Opens typically are a different kind of golf than what you see over here in the States. So it's doubly amazing. You have small town Ostrander that you come from, and you go over there and you win the British Open in your rookie effort, and it's just compounds how amazing that is. What was that like playing on a links style course?
Well, it's totally different, but real quick. But what's funny is that the county that I won in was Kent County. So that's where St. George. So there's this small little world. But what's really unique is that there's really no trees. Carnoustie is about the only one that has trees. So it's just wide open space. That's why it gets real windy too, right? Because there's nothing blocking the wind. Most of them are seaside. The hardest thing was, especially at St. George's, was just finding your way around the course, routing it, figuring out where your target lines are off the tee, because you're looking out there and there's no differentiation in the color. It's all the same. It's all brown. Especially that year was real brown. So you couldn't tell what was a fairway, what was the rough, what was the tall grass. I mean, you could see the tall grass, but you couldn't tell, because usually there's fairway and then 10 yards either way of just rough, and then the thick stuff comes in. And then you can't see the bunkering, right? The bunkers are level with the ground. Yeah. So they used to, they had trouble back during World War II, like a lot of the courses became runways, but they had trouble with the bunkers that the planes would land and then fall into the bunkers. So they had to put some kind of metal over top so they wouldn't fall in. But that's it. You just can't see them, right? And then so it's really unique in that. But what makes it fun is that you could be 70 yards away and you could hit a putter, chip it with a 7-iron, or you could be using a pitching wedge or a lob wedge, right? There's so many different shots you can use. So, when I got there, my caddy put his hands on the wedges. Every time I missed the green, he's like, nope, you're not using the wedge. You're using the 8-iron, 9-iron, 7-iron, whatever you like to bump and run it with, or putter. And so I just got real used to just spending, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days of just practice and a lot, hitting that, a little bump and run, and got really used to it. And I just really enjoyed it too, because it was so different, right? It was so unique and different that I just was actually really enjoying myself playing it. And that's why I've had success in some of it, a couple of the other times I played, but every time I go back, it's just a real treat to play.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned your caddy. How much do you lean on your caddy versus maybe some of the other tour players? I know like Lee Westwood right now has his fiance on the I think she's basically just carrying it, and he's doing all of the work as far as the mental stuff. How much did you lean on your caddy when you played?
Well, I mean, I read all my greens. So around the greens, it was mostly me. So kind of typically the job that I like, okay, obviously get the yardages and stuff, but, and then we talk about, it's 160 yards. Okay. What club is it? I mean, really, we both knew it was one or the other before we even got up there. As soon as he yells out a number, you pretty much have an idea. Okay, maybe it's a 7-iron, maybe it's an 8-iron.
Right.
And then you kind of talk about, okay, what's the pros and cons? Is it better to be long? Is it better to be short? And then you kind of base it off of that. And then, so we talk about that. And then the other thing was just keep me relaxed, tell some jokes, keep my mind, especially when the heat's on or when you're playing bad. The last thing you want is him to be, reminiscing about a shot 4 holes ago, when you should just be, hey, tell me a joke, get my mind off it, let me relax. And that's, try to keep you sane in this sense. And especially when it's coming down the stretch, it becomes even more important. you got 4 or 5 minutes between each shot, and then you got a minute or two to really focus in on it. And then you got, 4 or 5 minutes again of walk in between. So it's just, what do you do between that? And so that was the big thing that we had. And, a lot of times if Candace wasn't out with the kids or family or whatever, I'd room with my, or not room with them, hotel, but if we rented a house, we, stay in the same house together. And so you became really close to them and really good buddies. And you see that a lot now with the players, I think. They do, like Brooks, he stays with Ricky every week. They're like best buddies. So, and I think that's important.
So the final day of the Open, one golfer I loved watching growing up was Vijay Singh, who apparently Chris told me he's a complete dick. I don't know if that's true or not. But
that's just me saying that.
But I loved watching Vijay Singh. What was it like going kind of up against him in the final round of the Open?
Well, he was in the last group with Thomas Bjorn, and I was a couple groups in front. And I actually, the first cut I made that year, I played with Vijay on Sunday and at Bay Hill, and we were teeing off on number 10 because we were teeing off on 1. Yeah, we teed off on 1. And Vijay was notorious for just showing up, like literally his caddy would get all his stuff. He'd show up basically as the announcers announce his name. He pulled his club out and hit it, right? So he basically did that. Well, he was chit chatting with his caddy for a second. They announced his name, he hits it, and then we were walking off the tee box. And it was kind of like, "Hey VJ, I'm Ben Curtis. It's nice to meet you." He kind of turns, "Oh yeah, it might be good if I know who I'm playing with today and stuff." But he was always great with me. I got a picture of, I don't know, you could probably find it, but it's him and Bjorn off to the side as I'm giving the victory speech. And VJ's looking over at me smiling, but Bjorn's looking at me with his, Danish eyes, like, "Oh, I'm going to kick his ass," kind of thing. But he's always been great to me. One of my former college teammate, Danny Saul, he caddied for him for about 2 years. They just broke up. But, he's a good guy. I mean, obviously, he works really hard at the game. And, I can't say enough good things about him. I made fun of him one year we were playing at U.S. Open. And I always had a couple hybrids in my bag. They would switch quite a bit. And his first iron in his bag was a 6-iron. So I made fun of him for 2 days and kind of like, the best ball striker of the game at the time. And you got, 4 hybrids in your bag. Like, what's going on here? But, but he was always unique in that way. He would do a whole bunch of different stuff, but he was great to me. And, he obviously had a successful career.
They kind of say like you make it in this world when you have a sandwich named after you. Have you tried your Twisted Melt sandwich?
I have not. And
it's good. It's good.
Well, it was funny because I ran into the guy that owns it, and he was telling me, "Oh, you got to come try your sandwich." I'm like, "Well, I've heard about it." And I said, "That's something I would never eat. So why do you?"
No, that's interesting.
Your enthusiasm. That's a Your Enthusiasm episode right there. I don't know if you watched it.
I've seen a few shows of it, but I don't watch it religiously or anything. Yeah. But I was just making fun of him, kind of like, you got all these sandwiches after famous people. You might want to find out what they eat and like, and before you throw it out there. So I forget what it is. Isn't it like a vegetable sandwich or something?
Yeah, here, we'll pull it up here. It's a grilled cheese. So it's roasted peppers, caramelized onions, goat cheese, which goat cheese, I'm not sure if I'm not crazy about that.
I don't mind it, but I'm not going to eat on a sandwich.
Mozzarella cheese.
Oh, too much cheese.
Tomato and balsamic glaze served on sourdough bread. The sourdough bread is a winner for a grilled cheese, especially at Twisted Melts.
Now, you take the goat cheese off, and then you might have a winner there. So
okay, cool. Yeah, so that's just one tweak. I was curious though about that process, like because there's a ton. They have so many sandwiches. I was wondering if they like inquired. So it's interesting to know.
They never
slap his name on.
They just never reached out. I know they have a Saban and a Holtz and all these guys up there. It's kind of funny. It's a great concept, though.
They're just naming, never talking to these people.
Yeah,
Ben,
they just like,
Ben, if you could pick a sandwich to be your sandwich, what would it be?
yeah, we have some pull here.
I love a club sandwich, but I would have a little twist on it. I would instead of like mayonnaise, I would add a little bit of mustard, and instead of bacon, I have Canadian bacon.
Wow.
So that would kind of be it. You know, it could have some kind of aioli sauce as well, but and some tomatoes, and obviously I love onions, but not so much caramelized, but just grilled onions, not completely caramelized. Just
For
nice
sure.
So couple minutes on the grill and then throw them on there with it. So
Oh,
a little
like that.
Yeah.
So you're thinking more of a cold cut and less of like a grilled cheese.
No. Yeah, it'd be more of a meaty sandwich. I mean, grilled chicken though, like grilled chicken, a little bit of Canadian bacon, a little bit of tomato, grilled onions, and then a little bit of mustard.
See, now we're on to something, Twisted Mouths. Now we have the Ben Curtis.
Yeah.
Coming for you, Saban.
I might be the only one eating it, but that's all right.
So we touched on it a few times. Got the Masters this week. Any predictions? What do you see? Who do you think is going to be at the top of the leaderboard?
Well, I think, obviously, because there's only 90 guys, you're going to have, the big stars at the top at the end of the day. I just hope it's not a runaway like it was in the fall. It's usually built on dramatic finishes, right? That's what it's known for, and the back nine. And so, like, it was weird year last year, and it was weird being played in the fall. Augusta wins by 7 or 8 shots, and it was just kind of like you're waiting for something to happen and never did. But so I think, but you still have those big names coming up. But, I had to make a pick the other day, and I'm going to stick with it. I mean, if I had to pick one guy, I think Justin Thomas. Even though he won the last night, he's fresh. He had a week off or whatever. But don't be surprised. There's always somebody out of the woodwork that you would never know, right? That you did.
The Ben Curtis.
Forgot. Yeah, like a Ben Curtis, like Mike Weir, right? I mean, he wasn't a household name when he won.
Yeah.
Danny Willett, right? Trevor Immelman was a great player, but I don't think people would have expected him to win at that time. So Schwartzel, same thing, kind of came out of nowhere. Angel Cabrera, Bubba, some of those names that Bubba's had tremendous success there, but I think Justin Thomas, I would have said Speed 2 weeks ago, but I think he's going to be so tired by now. He's played so well in such a short period that eventually it's just like his goal was to get back there, right? And then it's almost now you're running out of energy. So that's what I would expect, but who knows? I mean, he could get hot and win by 10. So that's the thing. There's 90 some guys and probably 75 could win. Just a matter of.
How about the Trevor Bauer of the tour, Bryson DeChambeau? What do you think about his chances?
I mean, obviously, yes, he can. He tries, it's just weird, like how he plays, right? He's trying to overpower it at times.
He doesn't look like a golfer. I mean, to me, when you see his swing and you see his putting, it doesn't look like your average golfer. It looks like a Joe Sixpack on the weekend. And I know he puts a lot of thought, and that's very intentional on his part, but it's amazing to watch his game.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you got to watch with Augusta because, he'll try to science the crap out of the course, right? And Augusta will flip the switch, because I've been there, like, the scariest hole is number 1. They don't talk about it, but because I've been there where it's been real wet and it's been soft, the greens were kind of slow. And then they turn on the sub-air system, right? And then they can get as fast and slow as they want it. And so you get up there, we were the first group, and I remember hitting it down the middle on the green and then 4-putted. Just like, and it was just like I couldn't stop the ball. It wouldn't stop. It just kept rolling. I mean, I hit it like an inch and it would roll 10 feet. And you're just like, what's going on here? Like, this course has changed overnight. And so they can do that. But I mean, obviously he's a great player, and
yeah,
he's been there a lot now in the last year or so. So I think he's gaining that confidence, and but I don't know what he do in the fall. I couldn't remember what he did the last two.
Off the top of my head.
I mean, Dustin won by like 7 or 8, so I don't. That's the thing; you never know who finishes second. But so he could have finished in the top 10 there. But I mean, his chances are very good. I don't think any one of these players I name have a better chance than anybody else. I mean, personally, as a fan, I love to see Rory win. Just get that career Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I think that would make a great story, and obviously I root for Brooks Koepka because of Ricky, who caddies for him. So I'm always rooting for him just for Ricky's sake more than anything. I mean, I like Brooks, but but any one of those guys could win. It's such a hard tournament to pick. Obviously we know Tiger's not going to win, so a lot of people are expecting him this year, but
how about Phil?
We'll see what happens.
Phil's chances.
I don't see it. I mean, he hasn't. I mean, he'll have spurts of a couple of good rounds, but just can't seem to put all four together. So
there always seems to be kind of that older guy who shoots well though out there. Like Freddie Couples. Freddie Couples just loves Augusta, it seems. Do you think, could you pick one of those? Is there somebody you think that maybe has that chance to kind of come out and really put together a good Masters that you may not be thinking of, a blast from the past?
Well, I mean, experience goes a long ways. I think, we talked about him a little bit, Lee Westwood.
Yeah. I pick him all the time. And I keep losing. I lose on that one.
Sergio's a good. I know he can be hot and cold there, but just from being there a lot. As far as old guys, I mean, I don't even as VJ. I don't think he's in the field. He would be. He won it. So, I just don't see it. I don't see VJ. I don't see Phil, Bernard Langer. I don't see Fred Couples. But I mean, Bernard, would he finish like 10th last year?
Yeah,
or in the fall.
Yeah.
At 60 some years old, but it's just experience goes a long ways there. But Kuchar would be an older person. He's my age.
I was gonna say now you're making me
kind of scary. It's old now, but he's 44, probably 43, and I mean, there's like I said, there's 75 guys that can win, and then there's 20 that are not going to have a chance, whether it be age or youth and experience.
We're going to be watching the Masters, and we're just the announcers. Ben Curtis just running on to the course, going to win it.
Yeah. No. Oh man, I'd shoot 100 right now if I played it, but that's all right.
I may have my chance. I'd shoot 100.
Yeah, it'd be a fun 100
though. Heck yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Big play mini golf outing. Next big event after the Masters, mini golf.
A mini golf, yeah.
See, I want to go up there, and I'm going to play Ben up there at one of the courses that nobody talks about up in like the Kent area. Play like Raccoon.
Yeah.
Oak Knolls, Paradise Lake.
Oak Knolls is gone.
I know. That's right next to my Oak Knolls is gone. It's right next to my grandfather's house. He lives in that subdivision right there across from the high school. And actually, you don't know this, and my grandpa will be happy that I brought this up to you because he lives in Kent. He's a lifelong Kent guy. He's a big Ben Curtis fan. He also happens to be a landowner next to you on 43 there in Kent. So if you ever want to do any business, look for Dick McNeil right there on 43. He owns some land, and from what I understand, I guess you own some land over there as well.
Yeah, we got a few acres over there. Yeah.
Chris trying to sell his grandpa's land live on air.
Grandpa is a huge Kent Golden Flashes. Like he grew up on Oak Knolls and playing all those courses, and the whole Ben Curtis thing is huge in his world, as it wasn't mine. I never could beat you when you were down here. Darn it!
That's funny.
But I had to bring that up for his sake.
I'm just glad I got the Twisted Melts thing figured out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's been bugging you forever, hasn't it, Nick?
Oh, it has been. Yeah. I mean, so I attended Kent, obviously, and frequented there, tried a myriad of sandwiches, and it always bugged me. I was like, first, I need to get my own sandwich eventually. That's probably like a 10-year goal.
Good luck.
I should write that down somewhere. The Nick Padone sandwich. I have no idea what would be on it because I'm very basic when it comes to that. But yeah, I'm glad we got that figured out.
You would have no say, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, and I would chase down. Like, I take my sandwiches very seriously and my food, but yeah, Raccoon Hill is still there.
There you go.
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah,
I used to kick around that first hole. You could drive the first hole. That always felt good.
Yeah.
It's like right by the street, though.
It is. I played many times. I think you could hit the clubhouse. What is it, on 18? You can hit the clubhouse if you really hit it bad.
Yeah, par 3, pull a little left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, what are your favorite local courses for the guys in Northeast Ohio and girls listening?
Well, I mean, obviously Windmill. We played college there. Have a lot of fond memories, but it's a great golf course. My academy I do at Country Club of Hudson, so I enjoy playing there. Portage Country Club's a great little old track. But as far as public, obviously Fowler's Mill is up there as well, kind of higher level. Trying to think, my favorite course is Country or Brookside, Canton Brookside. I don't know. It's an old Donald. I love Donald Ross courses. And so, that's one of the last ones around. So
there is another one that is around that happens to be in Granville, Ohio, the Granville Golf Club that is now Denison Golf Club here.
Right.
So if you ever make your way down here again, you've got to come by and see me and we'll play around. I'll take you out there, Ben.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard good things. I haven't been there, but I've heard good things. And, we have, in Hartville too, you got Congress Lake that he was supposedly a part of, but I don't know the full story, but I've heard that it was kind of like later on in his life, and he was doing Brookside or something, and happened to like help somebody do Congress Lake while he was here doing that too. So, but I love his courses, and I just, I think they're just so unique in its own way, just kind of like Pete Dye with his railroad ties, and Robert Trent Jones with his deep bunkers that you can't get in or out of. Like the ball can go in there, but the person can't get in and out. That's what makes it tough. But I'm just looking at our names here, and I'm having a laugh because I don't know if you see it, but it says Sweetness on mine. I just want to let everybody know that Candace gave me that name. I haven't switched it yet. I just now noticed that.
I didn't put it up on the screen, but when it popped,
I'm not technology savvy, so she must have did it to me as a joke when we started doing Zoom calls, earlier this year. I'm like, can you get Zoom for me? And then she puts my name as Sweetness.
Ben, we're doing the show, and then it's like Sweetness is waiting in the waiting room. I was like, huh.
Who's that?
Who is this trying to join our chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could say I'd be Poopy Head if I had to self-proclaim a name for me or something. It wouldn't be Sweetness, that's for sure. Because it would be the total opposite of what that means, right?
Yeah, I'm very cautious with who I send the Zoom link out to.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry at all. Ben, great stuff. I did have to ask, though, about your foundation. Obviously, you do some really cool stuff around the Northeast Ohio area. Where could people just follow along with you, man? What are the social handles looking like, and the kind of stuff that you guys are doing with the Ben Curtis Foundation?
Yeah, so if you just hashtag Ben Curtis Family Foundation or BCFF kind of is the popular one. But if you can go to our website, bencurtisfoundation.org. All the information's there about what we do. So we help feed kids over long weekends throughout the school year. Kind of changed a little bit now because of COVID. Now the bags are going out more frequent. We started off with one school in one district and 135 bags, and we're now up to 6 districts. I don't know how many schools that is within those 6 districts, and about 4,800 bags a month. So
wow.
There's 9 meals and 6 snacks in every bag. the contents depends on what the food bank has, and we buy some from Sam's Club and other vendors as well, and so it depends on what they have. Most of it's pasta, ramen noodles, oatmeal, cereal, granola bars, fruit cups, kind of not all healthy, but at least these kids are getting it. The beautiful thing that we're doing is it's just going right to the kids. So we work closely with the schools. Candace does. I drive the truck around occasionally and deliver the food. But we put them in bags and they take them to the school, and the kids get them themselves. So no matter what their situation is at home, the kids can take it home and make it for themselves. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been very rewarding. And this past year we also did headphones for this type of stuff for the Zoom meets that they have for class. And we did calculators as well. So we did about 1,000 a total of each. So to a couple of the schools that needed a lot of help in that regard. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're just lucky to be able to do this and give back, and provide something as simple as just getting food. Right? We all get hungry. Like we go to get our sandwiches at our favorite sandwich shop, and or we go to the pantry and grab something. A lot of these kids don't have that opportunity. So
sure.
And it's and as you guys been to Kent, and we wanted something that everybody could be a part of, right? So if you only had $2, you're making a difference. So the bags cost about $4 or $5 to put together, and so for $5 you can help feed a kid for a weekend, or for $40 you can feed a kid for a year. So that's kind of how we live by. And so so we wanted everybody to be able to be involved with it. So we have a great support group with obviously our donors, but it wouldn't be possible without the volunteers. I mean, it's crazy how many people come in every week, and we actually got a pack tomorrow and Wednesday that we'll have 30, 40 people all masked up, obviously, but running around helping, doing different things, and getting the food to the kids.
That's fantastic. Nice work, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. We kept you way too long, but this was fantastic conversation. Appreciate your time. And hope to talk to you soon.
No, I hope to play with you soon. Ben, I've got to play with you at some point.
Chris
was just trying to beat me. You're just trying to beat me. That's all.
I want to beat you. I have to prove to my friends that I could beat you. I didn't find any clippings where I beat you in any tournaments back in my heyday. So I'm going to go practice up and try and beat Ben Curry.
Well, I'm really good at faking an injury right now. So if I get down, I can just, my back, I can't play anymore. So we'll have to do this again. We'll have to start over and do it again. But thanks for having me on, guys, and best of luck, and keep doing the great stuff.
All right, Ben, appreciate the time.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Curtis, AKA Sweetness. That was funny.
That's right.
I didn't put that up on the screen, but I'm glad he put that up there. That was funny. Right, there we go.
That's how he'll be known now on this show.
Sweetness.
Move over, Walter Payton.
That's right.
How about me versus Browns, huh? There would be a
duo.
What if I pull Ben Curtis?
There you go.
I didn't want to put him on the spot there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah, he didn't seem too excited about playing with me.
Yeah, exactly. So
Chris, you were trying to get him on your home turf.
I play him anywhere. I'm ready anytime. I was born ready, Dave.
We pull up to play Zagura, and we got a PGA champion on our side.
Heck
How the turntables.
I saunter in with Ben Curtis.
I love it.
Way to go, man. Great guy. That was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah, that was awesome. Nice
talking golf. See, we need more golf on this show. I'm telling you, boys.
Yeah, we'd have to have a 2-hour show for talking golf every week.
That's right. I got deep in the weeds there on you guys.
Heck yeah, I loved it. All right, so let's quickly do our power rank. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Dave.
Let's go. In 3, 2, 1.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
Hey, before we go into this,
I
did have one last postscript from that. He actually trolled me a little bit and didn't even realize it.
What do you mean?
He was going through his favorite golf courses.
Yeah.
He mentioned Brookside. So that's where my ex-wife's, my father-in-law is a member at Brookside. I've played there several times.
Really?
Yeah. And that's his favorite course in Northeast Ohio.
He just did like a ton of due diligence and like background on all of the show hosts. And he's like, I'm going to get this McNeil guy.
That's exactly right. I had no idea who he is, but man, I'm going to come after him hard.
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought that was funny. Of all the golf courses in Northern Ohio, that's the one that he picks out. And it's in Kent. Yeah. It's not even Kent, you know?
Yeah, I saw when he said that your facial reaction was hilarious. You were like, what, really?
That was completely out of the blue. Completely. Of course, he opened up the Donald Ross, which is great. I love the Donald Ross portion, but everything else is like, man, he got me again. Ben Curtis got me again.
Damn Ben Curtis.
Damn that Ben. Damn that sweetness.
Oh, that's hilarious. But hey, check out the Big Play store. Take 15% off with promo code REFLA. Go get some Cleveland shirts. I know Cody's giving away some NFL draft shirts. Check those out. Pretty awesome artwork by him. This one, Cleveland shirt, Marvel, MCU text. A lot of good stuff. Go check them out. All right, Power Rank Monday. We're going with top 3 sequels or remakes of all time. I'm going to kick it off. Number 3. I'm going all superhero on these. All legitimate ones, by the way, as well. So I'm going to go number 3. I'm going to go Logan. Have you seen Logan? Super gory Wolverine movie.
No, I have not seen it.
Really?
I'm not like movie guy. So a lot of these.
Oh, this is a perfect power rank for you then.
Are you familiar with movies?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I have watched movies.
You don't like movies. You like watching everything by yourself when it comes to sports. Nick, the onion layers are just keep coming off.
I have a hard time just like, I don't know.
Sitting for that long?
Like, yeah, exactly. Like I'll pace. If I watch a movie, I have to like get up and pace around at least once halfway through.
So have you guys seen the new Kong movie?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
All right. What'd you think?
It was kind of what I expected. I thought it would be like a D-rated storyline. Right. With, Kong and Godzilla fighting.
Fight scenes are fun.
Yeah, kind of like a 3-round match, what it turned into be.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the fight scenes were great.
Synopsis. Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah.
They were fun. I mean, not a great movie, but the fight scenes were good.
No, I mean, were you expecting a great movie?
No.
I mean, it's Godzilla.
No, I could watch it with the kids, though. That was fun. Kids enjoyed it.
That was a good one. We just watched that. We just watched... We're 3 hours into Justice League.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I couldn't. That's a long time. That's a big commitment, Dave.
DC is generally pretty horrible.
Yeah.
So,
I'll stick with my Marvel.
That's right. Yeah. So, Logan, actually a very, very good movie. The first couple Wolverines were god-awful.
Yeah.
Some of the worst movies out there. So, Logan gets my number 3. Number 2 into the MCU with Thor Ragnarok. First 2 Thors, probably the worst of the most recent MCU movies. Thor Ragnarok, probably top 5 out of the new ones. Good. Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, I think it was top 5.
Yeah. So my number 1, not even close to those. This is way, way far number 1. Terminator 2. So typically,
I think it came out for you about the same time it came out for me, like as a young kid. Yeah, that was a big summer.
Oh, it was incredible. And
there was a kid on my football team who had T2 shaved into the back of his head. I'm not kidding you. Everybody kind of made fun of him, but that's how big this
it was so ahead of its time. Like typically when you're doing like a power rank for a sequel, the first movie wasn't that good. Terminator was a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
But T2 was just I put it top 10 of all time.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And the CGI for that time.
Star Wars and T2, like way ahead of its time in CGI.
It's hard to it was, but yeah. You got to think about Star Wars though. You go back and watch those.
Some of it holds up.
Time,
it was ahead of its time.
His time was a long, long time ago now, Dave.
Yeah, I guess Terminator's not that old, but I just rewatched it with the kids, and it holds up, man.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. T1000 from my hometown of Bay Village. T1000, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so T1000, Terminator 2, number 1 by far.
Very nice.
Chris, what do you got?
I kind of didn't understand the premise. I thought we were doing like totally remade movies.
So yeah, so this is why
I didn't do like sequels.
I was like, you can't put sequels and remakes in the same list. So we'll have to talk to other Nick about that. But you're going remakes.
Remakes. I'm doing remakes.
Let's go. I did sequels, you went remakes, and then Nick's list obviously doesn't matter.
Right.
My list really does not matter.
My number 3. Going baseball, Bad News Bears, the one with Billy Bob Thornton. Have you seen that one?
It's been a long time.
It was good. It was good. You know, the original was Walter Matthau.
Yeah,
that was like a classic, and everybody loved it. But Billy Bob Thornton's was pretty darn good. I thought he did a good job with it. So
love Billy Bob.
Yeah, it was good back then. That's when he was walking around having like Angelina Jolie's blood, you know, around his neck. You know, the good old days.
Yeah, Bad Santa.
My number 2, Ocean's 11. I thought the Ocean's 11 with Clooney was, you know, with really the ensemble cast, right? I thought that was fantastic. Fantastic.
I actually didn't know it was a remake at the time.
Yeah, it was. And you know what's really even more surprising is my number 1 was a remake. And my number 1, Scarface.
Yeah.
Scarface was a remake of an old movie back from like the 30s. It was like a gangster movie. And they took it and said, no, let's make it instead of that way. Let's make it down in Miami. And let's cast this guy named Al Pacino as the protagonist down there in cocaine fueled deals and just craziness. But what a fantastic movie that was, and has now had a big impact on just society and all. It's, you know, that it's gotten like a resurgence here in the last like 20 years, even after it had come out. So it's got that resilience to it. But Scarface is my number 1.
That is a good one. Nick, have you seen 3 movies to make a list?
It was hard. It was difficult, but I have here my top 3. Number 2 is kind of funny, but my top 3. Number 3, I went with Halloween. So you guys know, like, I'm a big Halloween fan. Like, top 1 holiday ever is Halloween. So the original, like, Michael Myers from way back is horrible. Like, it's not scary, like, at all. They just, like, show a shadow of a guy standing there with a knife, and it's just the most lame thing ever. But the newer ones are actually pretty good. Like, get you in the Halloween spirit, kind of good. So that's my number 3.
The last Halloween that I saw had Busta Rhymes in it. And it was not good.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about the Busta Rhymes one. I would like to check that out though, probably.
No, you don't. It's horrible. He's like trick or treat, mother, and just like kicks him in the face, and I
so
think
like
that ends.
It's supposed to be scary. Like, it's not like Scary Movie. Like, it's supposed to be scary.
No, yeah, it's supposed to be scary. It's horrible. They're all. I feel like all those are bad, but that's all right.
Yeah, they are. I just had to put a Halloween movie in there. Okay, number 2.
Ding.
I'm going with Space Jam 2. Haven't seen it yet, but the trailer was good. Space Jam 1 is like an, you know, iconic sports movie. Michael Jordan, second greatest basketball player of all time. So excited to see
you put a movie on here that's not even out yet.
Yeah, of course, because it has the greatest basketball player of all time in it, greatest athlete of all time. So Space Jam 2 is my number 2.
You haven't seen 3 movies.
I've seen 3 movies. My number 1 is the 2015 Family Vacation. This one's actually good. This one is like,
seen it. That's just sacrilege.
This one's me actually being serious. No, it's good. It's good because this is an example of me seeing 3 movies, because I've seen Space Jam 1, I've seen the original Vacation, which I really like, and I've seen the second Vacation, which, as always, it's not as good as the first one, but it has Chevy Chase in it. Like, he has kind of like a redo role or whatever, but Ed Helms is the dad. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Chris, any comment?
Disagree. Move on.
Move on.
I don't know. I haven't seen the new one. I just, based on principle, I wasn't going to see it. It just looked like No,
right?
You can't recreate the magic that they had in that original.
We went to.
It was unbelievable.
My friends and I went to see it like back in 2015 when it was in the theaters, just because there was like nothing else to do. And I walked out of there saying that wasn't bad. So that was the
so
first.
That makes it number one on his list.
Because I haven't seen.
It wasn't bad.
I don't watch that many movies, so not bad for me. Ranks pretty good compared to you guys.
Nick, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, no question. That was my senior quote. Is the quote from when he's in the shower? Life moves pretty fast. That's it. It's inspiring to me.
That's a very basic quote right there.
Oh, it's basic. Yeah, Chris, when I saw your Bruce Drennan thing, how you put that on like a basic quote thing, like Ferris Bueller's quote belongs on that. You're an idiot and you don't know baseball, like that, and Ferris Bueller's quote. But that's a good movie.
No. Oh, yeah. You're an idiot. No. You're an idiot and you don't know baseball. I'm not an idiot. No, you are an idiot.
That's great.
I was hoping.
Before the show, Nick, we got to get him and Riz. I'm going to have them dueling on here. Just both of their rants. Be fantastic. Drennan versus Riz.
Oh,
that would be like
that could be
Godzilla
interesting
versus Kong right there.
All right, let's get into some Cleveland headlines here real quick. We don't have a whole lot, but let's...
We have to give away that jersey?
Yeah, we're about to.
Oh, why don't we do that?
Cleveland headlines brought to you by our good friends at Total Sports Enterprises Cleveland. Every week, we're giving away a signed Cleveland sports memorabilia item courtesy of TSE Cleveland. Check them out and follow the Big Play Reflux Show and TSE Cleveland on Twitter for your chance to win every week. Signed jerseys, helmets, or personal items you want to send into them. TSE Cleveland has it all. Stay tuned for the next giveaway this coming week. Giving away another Browns jersey. Look for that tweet. Usually send it out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday for your chance to win. So this week's winner, we're giving away the Ronnie Harrison Jr. autographed jersey, the brown, new, good-looking Browns jersey. The winner is... at Brownstown 76. Brownstown 76 on Twitter. I don't have a name. Let's see if they have a name. Brownstown 76.
Wasn't it Susan or something?
Let's see. It is.
No. Oh, yeah. You're an idiot. No. You're an idiot and you don't know baseball.
It wasn't that guy, was it?
It was not him. It was, yes, Susan.
There we go.
There we go. Susan at Brownstown 76 is the winner. Congratulations.
You're most likely not an idiot, and you do know baseball. Or at least you know the sign jersey.
Good stuff. All right, congratulations. Shoot us a DM, and we will get that over to you here shortly. All right, so we had the home opener today. Obviously, it didn't go all that well. Tribe lost 3-0, dropping. We're 1-3 on the season now. Obviously, it's a long season, longer this year, 162 games. Chris, we've talked about it, I don't know, last 3 or 4 years. Tito usually starts off pretty bad, slow start.
Yeah.
What point do we start worrying about this offense? Because pitching looks okay.
I feel like we need to have Bruce on. We need to have Bruce to ask when we're allowed to start worrying about this team.
Right.
Otherwise, we don't know baseball, right? 3 hits today, Dave. 3 hits.
1 hit.
Against the Kansas City Royals, who really the betting guys in Vegas like the Royals.
It's not good when your 1 through 5 hitters for the entire game have 1 hit.
Oh, no.
Probably not a good thing.
Get me to the draft. Oh, when's training camp start?
We've scored 2 or fewer runs 3 out of 4 games.
In that other game, though, we scored 9 runs. And did you see this? This is an amazing anomaly.
What's that?
Every single starter scored a run. Exactly 1 run.
That's impressive. You know what I did?
Somebody pointed that out to me and copied Elias Sports Bureau. I wonder if that's happened before, because that is a very odd thing to have. Every single person who started that game scored exactly 1 run.
Yeah, that is fun.
That's going to be a stat that like the @Indians handle like goes to if we're like 1 in 30. They'll be like, well, that one game set a record in a.
Did you remember?
I didn't see any of the tweets though that said like, "Hey, let's save some runs for tomorrow." Like people aren't at that point of the season.
Oh,
yet.
I saw a ton.
Oh, you did?
Are
okay,
you
none of them came across from me. Let's save some for tomorrow. Like I just thought we hadn't made it there yet.
Oh, I had every other one.
Oh, good. I'm glad that we're there. We're back.
We're there.
Okay.
I didn't tweet it, so we didn't get that far yet, but everyone else did.
Oh God! I mean, there's a few bright spots. Pitching's actually looked pretty decent. Nick, one guy we were talking about in the offseason, Emmanuel Clase, we're like, he's going to be throwing like 80 after no steroids. He's chucking the ball. His first pitch was 101. I think that was another record. Check the Elias Sports.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Nick, what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Like I don't want to go full caller on the Bruce Drennan show and say that it's a disappointment because you could pitch around Jose and the rest of the guys. No. I really just wanted Chris to play it again. Is why I brought it up.
Oh, we're gonna play it.
It's. I hope this year, and I talked about it on my show on Wednesday, that this could be the year that the Indians don't get off to a slow start, because you start against Detroit, Kansas City, and then Detroit again, your first 8 games. And I wasn't expecting them to go 8-0 or even 7-1, but how about a nice 5-3 to start the year? Like that's something that we really wouldn't know what to do with ourselves as Tribe fans. Like we said, they traditionally start slow under Tito. And it's just disappointing that hasn't happened. You know, now I see all the sad tweets about the ownership and not spending any money because Giancarlo Stanton in New York hit a 400-some yard home grand slam today. So it's just frustrating right now. It's frustrating in every first week of the Indian season because the people at the open bar schedule making meetings make us play in Cleveland and Detroit to start the year where the ball doesn't want to leave the bat at all. So it just sucks right now. But once the weather breaks, they'll find a way to win 80 to 90 games. They always do.
Chris, do you pronounce it Detroit or Detroit?
Yeah, I was going to point that out. I had never in my life heard somebody pronounce it the way Nick pronounces.
Wait, which way did I?
Nick, Detroit? So you call it Detroit.
That's interesting.
Playing Detroit.
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 I wonder what the phonetic spelling of it is.
Detroit.
No, you've been pronouncing it wrong your whole life.
I know. I'm like
that's okay. That's a sign of disrespect for the city. I'm going to start pronouncing it that way.
Yeah, that's like how people say Cincinnati, like just as like a joke.
Exactly.
That's Detroit for me.
Cincinnati. All right, let's NFL draft coming here to beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Starts on Thursday, April 29th.
It's Detroit. It's Detroit.
You say Detroit.
I say Detroit.
It's Detroit.
Huh.
Detroit.
You learn something new every day.
That's right. Say it. Go ahead and say it.
Detroit.
No,
I say Detroit.
No, it's not Detroit.
Detroit.
It's Detroit.
You're getting
there.
I'm
sticking with Detroit.
All right, this is why you'll never make it in a big market.
That's fine. That's completely
This is what's
fine.
holding you back. I didn't want
all those job interviews that you did in Detroit just completly gone now.
Yeah, that's okay. If you've come across my application in Detroit, throw it away. How about that?
There we go. All right, so we got the draft. Cool outdoor activities. Which one would you guys want to do? Would you rather kick a field goal or run the 40?
I'm not running a 40.
Come on, Chris. What would you run a 40 in?
It'd be a lot.
A lot.
It'd be north of a minute. No, I don't know.
It'd be like
I'm supposed to run a half marathon here in like a week. The Cap City half. So.
Jeez.
Could you have a faster?
40 is running fast. The marathon is just,
Do you think you could do a faster 40 than Aaron Goldhammer?
I do think.
What did Aaron run?
Oh, this was a while ago. Nick, does he still run it? I remember he ran it in the Galleria a few years back.
I was completely unaware of this, but it is something that I will bring up very soon.
I want to say like 7 seconds.
Oh, that's good for me then, because I am
maybe 8 seconds.
I'm since James Rapine is gone, I'm the most athletic Cleveland media member. Put
Yeah,
that on a T-shirt.
There you go. We'll have to look that up. I remember when he ran it. So yeah, Chris.
Maybe Gerard. He won a few Super Bowls.
Maybe. It'd be close.
He's past his prime though. In a 40, that's a short burst. If I'm hydrated and have the right shoes on, I could do it.
No.
I could get below 5.
Absolutely not.
4.9.
4.9.
What would you be better at, running the 40 or kicking the field goals? Like, would you be a better field goal kicker?
I would run the 40. I cannot kick a field goal. I was a goalie in soccer. I retired in like 4th grade. I can't kick it.
Where are they holding this ball at, I wonder? Someone tweet Cammie Justice because she has all the information. Is it 33 yards? That's not that far.
Back on the show.
There's literally no chance I could make a 33-yard field goal.
Yeah, I'm not making that.
That's far.
I don't even think I can make a 20.
Oh, you could toe it in from 20.
I don't think so.
They should have Cody Parkey there. Just saying, from like a marketing.
They should have Phil Dawson there.
Yeah.
Do that.
It would be funny to have Cody Parkey there just laugh at everybody that misses.
Nick, how far could you make a field goal?
I could definitely toe it in from 20. 25 could still toe it in. 33 could be far.
Next show, we're going to bring him out to a high school field.
That's right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jamie Gillen practices out here in my local hometown at the
at the high school.
Jamie.
I'll kick with Jamie.
All right. Sounds good.
And I'll beat him in a 40.
Yeah. Which would you guys rather do? Are we going downtown to the draft, or are we watching from the couch?
I'm watching it from my couch at home.
Yeah?
Because no one will give me tickets.
Aww.
I've already tried.
Yeah?
Yeah. No one likes me. The Browns don't like me. No one likes me.
They've gone silent on Chris McNeil.
They've gone silent on me.
They're
only nice to me when they need me. I know how it is. I'm used.
What were you to say, Dave?
You know what's kind of strange is that they announced like after the fact that the NFL draft experience thing, like that's not the actual draft. You know what I mean? Like that's not like the theater and the experience are two very different things.
Oh yeah.
And I am at half vax today, by the way.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you. And by 420, I will be full vaxxed.
Hey-o.
But that misses the cutoff of the April 15th of being like full vax to get into the theater. So I'm like so curious to see how that's gonna work. Like, is it even remotely close? Like I'm just so confused with how this whole thing's going down. There's going to be screens everywhere. It's going to be on the huge screens like Cavs watch parties everywhere. That seems to be.
I mean, the layout looks incredible.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and like to think that if they could pull it off, like socially distant, where there's not people breathing down your neck, which I hope is here to stay because I hated that at the Cavs watch parties. That'll actually be pretty cool.
There you go. I like it. All right, let's do best and worst tweets and call it a night. What do you say?
Man, I got a lot of people coming to your defense.
Who?
Defense
for Detroit?
I've had 2 people saying that he's pronouncing it correctly.
It is not
Look at
Detroit.
According to Webster, it is Detroit.
My brother says I'm being pig vomit to my man Nick. WNBC.
WNBC.
Yeah, there you go. Nick doesn't get that reference because he doesn't watch movies.
Right?
No, I absolutely have no idea.
Do you at least know who Howard Stern is?
Yes, I do for sure know who that is.
Good work. All right. Actually, Chris, before we do that, how about we give Shaq News a quick live read so it's part of the show?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. So you want me to redo
it, man.
My live read? That was fantastic. I hit it.
You nailed the first one, yeah.
Dave, the Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShaqNews.com. Shaq News is the place to be for all your gaming news, guides, walkthroughs, interviews, and reviews. Like their featured article, a review of the fun new PC game Dandy Ace. And don't forget to check out their Shaq News Reader, which allows you to create a personalized feed of all your favorite YouTube channels, websites, and subreddits. All of this pairs perfectly with their Shaq News Cortex, where you can post your own articles and get involved in the gaming community right on their site. From video game tournaments to Twitch streams, they do it all at Shaq News. And speaking of Twitch streams, make sure to subscribe to their channel on Twitch to see the newest games as well as some great throwbacks. So if you're a gamer, Shaq News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @Shaq News and @ShaqNews.com.
Boom, nailed it.
There you go.
Well done.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. All right. Best and worst tweets of the week. Let's go. This wasn't even close.
Best tweet.
Best tweet.
Doubt about it, right? It was the one that included.
It was everywhere.
No. Oh, yeah. You're an idiot. You're an idiot and you don't know baseball. No, you are an idiot. Listen, you're going to tell me you are judging. You don't know anything. You don't know squat, you stupid idiot. You're going to tell me you're going to make a judgment on the season after one game in 30-degree weather? That proves what an ignoramus you are. Get off our show.
Fair weather, idiot. Right? Audio courtesy of Bally Sports Cleveland. We're giving it to @Tim and Friends on Twitter. It was viral all over the place. Cleveland broadcaster Bruce Drennan. Never thought I would see Bruce Drennan in 2021 trending on Twitter. I was like,
that's a fantastic
rant. What is going on? Yes.
After one game, that came from the heart. Something happened before that moment that we didn't see that caused that to happen. Whatever the last caller was, he came unglued on the next guy. That was awesome.
That one's a better rant. That
was pretty good.
Check my watch to make sure how much time I have to talk about this. If you're one of the people out there that is planning a parade for 0-16, I will fight you. Come down and see me right now. I am at Buffalo Wild Wings. You're going to celebrate my misery for 4 months? I saw the guy. The guy wanted.
See, he was more controlled, wasn't he? Now, as I listen back, when you put him back to back with Bruce, he seems more controlled, more thoughtful.
He did say he was going to fight you, though.
Uncle Rizzy has some crazy rants. Like when he went off on Wally, who called the Browns a clown after like the whole like Freddie Kitchens draw play on 4th and 9. He went off on he's gone off on some people like Bruce Drennan style. It's great.
Awesome.
That Cleveland media, baby.
That comes from a very deep
that's the crew. That is the crew. Chris, Riz versus Drennan soundboard. Put it together, Nick.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do the mix, the super mix.
Prank call people in Cleveland as Riz and Drennan fighting each other.
Just fighting.
Chris, what was the worst tweet?
The third player, though.
Interesting. Wearing his hat backwards.
Just throw him into the mix. Wild card.
We got to bring soundboards back. I love those back in like college. Prank calling people with the Arnold Schwarzenegger soundboard or the Howard Stern soundboard.
Yes.
I've been doing reverse prank calls.
What does that mean?
So like you get like the telemarketer people.
And
there's a warrant out for my arrest, and the only way to clear it is with iTunes gift cards. And they ask you how much money you have in your account, and if you say like $1,400 or $1,600, they conveniently come in right under that number is what you need to bail. To get your name cleared. So it's been fun messing with
one.
those.
I haven't heard that one. That's detailed.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. And I always get them. They come from California. You press 1 to speak with a representative. Of course. And you could have fun with them for as long or as short as you please. Sometimes
no
you get
this guy though. No movies.
Too busy with reverse prank calls.
Sometimes they like catch on really quick that Gary Winthorpe is in fact not a real person and they hang up.
Nice. That's fantastic. Chris, worst tweet.
Worst tweet by Cleveland.com sent out this morning for the opener. They tried to use the format of what is your baseball name and using first name by your first letter, last name by letter. And then they just got all kinds of random Indians things. So your name comes out as like nothing. So me with a C, I'm Progressive Field. With an M, I am Progressive Field, Jose Ramirez.
Makes perfect sense, Chris.
What is that?
Change the bold name.
That is so stupid.
The McNeil bold name is gone.
Yeah, we've come a long way from this premise, and they really missed on this one. Cleveland.com, get your act together.
There's been bad tweets, but whoever came up with this, I would assume they're not there anymore, and this was this morning.
They were fired today during the day.
Oh my god!
Somebody was like, "Step into my office."
Yeah.
What? No. Oh, yeah. You're an idiot. You're an idiot and you don't know baseball.
That was it. That was the conversation.
That is how it went. All right, that is best, worst. Nick, take us out of here. We are late.
Definitely, yeah, super late. Thank you guys, though, for sticking with us throughout the tech difficulties we had in the first stream. Glad we got it back up and running. Huge shout out to Ben Curtis, former PGA golfer, Kent alum, like myself. Check him out, Ben Curtis Family Foundation. Great interview from him. If you missed it, check us out. Apple Pods, Spotify. We'll have the show up by tomorrow morning. Huge thanks to everybody else, shacknews.com, all of our great sponsors. Go check them out, Shack News. Thank you guys so much. Big Play Reflog next Monday. We'll be here back live 9 p.m. We'll be right on it sharp. No technical difficulties. Can't promise that for sure, but more than likely. Thank you guys so much and have a great week.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back my job.